Hello, Brenton with All Octane here, and in this video we are going to the St. Louis Auto Show. So it is a Sunday, it is nice and early, it's just after 10 o'clock, it is cold, it is probably, I don't know, below 20 degrees, it is freezing. I did find, I think, free parking, because I think on the weekends it is free parking in St. Louis. So I'm going to walk up to the convention center and head into the show. We're going to take a look at some cars. I'm super excited. So it looks like they did it a little different this year. Last year they had us go through like one of those old like queue lines on the ballroom side. This year we're going through this massive long hallway to get to, I guess, where the ticket sales are. But there are signs that say like ticket sales, ticket sales, ticket sales. That's all I want to do is I just want to buy a ticket. So I guess we're gonna get a ticket and go in. I'm excited though. There's a couple of cars that I'm really excited to see. Oddly enough, electric cars. I really want to see the Hyundai Ioniq 6 and I want to see the Kia EV something. And then obviously anything else that they have to offer. Okay, so that's a pretty cool effect. 2024 Auto Show. Yeah, fun, but let's take a look and see what we've got. Nissan, Chevrolet, Volkswagen, Toyota, Kia. All right. Let's get this done. Let's go take a look at all these cars. So a lot of it's probably going to be common cars, which is great because that's what you go to an auto show for. I am so excited for auto shows because it's a no pressure environment. There's no sales pressure and it's information. So you can get all the information you want about all the cars that are out there. Sometimes you can pick up freebies as well. But this is why auto shows can't die. We need auto shows because you need to be able to go and touch and feel and explore the car without having to feel pressured to buy. Does this look familiar? Yeah, Vaughn Gittin Jr., the fun haver, is in the house. He's actually doing things outside, but this thing reminds me of the diecast because, you know, we have them in diecast and Hot Wheels. Ah man, the RTR Spec 2 Dark Horse. That thing is legit. I have to admit, I do like the new Mustangs. I've always liked Mustangs. What am I kidding? Who am I kidding? So this area is called the $1 Million Mile. And I would imagine that half of the cost is just those three cars right there. The Aventador, the Urus, and the Ferrari, and the McLaren. So that right there is about your $1 million. That's why there's no other cars because, you know, those things depreciate. Those things depreciate. I mean, it's a Challenger, an Aston Martin, depreciate. Hummer, and then, yeah, this Aston Martin. So, yeah, you're basically $1 million. Just the Aventador, the Urus, the Ferrari, and the McLaren. Interesting. So Ameren is the utility company here in Missouri, or at least in the St. Louis area, that provides electric power. And it's interesting because they have brought themselves a Silverado EV, which is kind of cool because I don't think I've ever seen one of these yet before. Silverado EV is all electric, and you can tell also that the size of the frunk is interesting because it's a larger vehicle. So when we were looking at the other SUV from Kia, that did not have a very large frunk. This one has a very large frunk. So it's interesting to see how each manufacturer is taking their all electric concepts and divvying out the space. Okay, these are the things that I also appreciate about auto shows because you can see which colors go to which vehicle. I kind of wish they had put them in actual color order. That would have been kind of nice because you have Atlas Blue, Atlas Blue, Atlas Blue on a bunch of different models, but it would have been nice to just kind of put them all across just like, you know, charted. However, like I said, this is a cool feature to have because someday I can reference back to this chart and see what colors came on which particular models, which is always something really nice to have in the future when it comes to collectability. Hey, look, a Dodge Hornet in disguise. I'm just kidding. So this is something I did not expect to see today. This is a Maserati MC20. It's the successor to the MC12 back in the day. Man, I think this is the first time I've seen one of these, and yeah, I definitely did not expect to see one here at the show. Okay, so here's a 2024 Genesis GV80 in its prestige matte. Take a look at the finish of this thing. So I literally just got done reading a Motor Trend article last night about how the matte finish on this thing is absolute pain to have cleaned, detailed, or fixed if you get into an accident. So the fact that they have a matte at the auto show, being able to be touched by all these people is insane. Case in point right there, somebody's already touched it. I would be very curious to know how they're going to get that out. It's interesting, you can't open the front on the Cadillac Lyriq. I'm not quite sure why, but she said we couldn't. I didn't even try, I was just looking at it. All right, it is pretty cool to see the Moto Compacto from Honda, and it kind of feels like it's the old Honda bike that fit into the city, the Honda City. So yeah, this is a little bike. You can sit there, you can use the brakes, and it does have a little bell here. You can hear that. So yeah, it folds up, compact, and you can take it places and then you can ride it, which is really pretty cool. There's a little headlight, nifty little gizmo. Finally found a Nissan Z. This is the first one I've ever seen in person. It's a really cool car, and I did just get to sit in it. I don't quite fit in it as well as the Supra, but I fit in them equally, and if I probably had to pick, I'd probably pick this one, although they're almost impossible to come by. So I made it inside of a Nissan Z, and it is tight. I'm 6'4", this thing is tight. However, I do like the gauge clusters, although the line of sight is terrible. Between the gauge clusters and the rear view mirror, I am stuck in here. It has a little bit of view outside. It does have the manual though, which is really cool. So it does have a 6-speed manual, some USB chargers, I think some climate control vents with some actual dials, some buttons for the infotainment system. This is actually a really cool car. Up top, it's got some lights, it's got door light, it's got the rear view mirror, or I'm sorry, the mirror slide outs. It does have a lighted, it looks like that would be a light for the mirror that comes down. Overall, it's a really cool car. It does have some functionality on the steering wheel as well. Rear is kind of cool. It's a nice car. I just don't know if I fit completely. So here's the interior of the all-new Corvette E-Ray. This thing's pretty amazing. It also has like a stealth mode, which is pretty cool. And then there's a normal mode, a shuttle mode, and there's probably a bunch of other modes. I'm sure I could probably figure that out. It doesn't look like the steering wheel will do it. But I barely fit, but I do fit, right? That's the important thing. I barely fit, but I do fit. So I could enjoy it. It's tight, but it's cool. All right, it's 3 minutes till 5. I'm heading out. What a fun day. So many cool cars. There were a ton of brands not there, though. A lot of luxury brands. Buick was not there. BMW was not there. Mercedes was not there. Audi was not there. Jaguar, Land Rover. There's Mini was not there. There's a ton of brands that were not there. However, what was there was fantastic. I'm so glad I got to come and actually sit in cars, review cars. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below. And until the next one, have a good one.